Hello class, my name is Samuela. Something that most of us has probably heard of is the Black Death, which was a pandemic that in the 14th century that heavily affected Europe. The impact of this plague changed the course of history, which is why I thought it'd be a relevant subject to talk about today. As today, I would like to discuss and inform you about the Black Death, as well as the long-term consequences of the Black Death. I will explain how the Black Death spread, what recent DNA reveals about it, and how it affected society, including mass persecutions being carried out because of it. Firstly, I would like to discuss how recent DNA has helped trace the origin and the spread of the Black Death. According to the article by Andrew Lawler in Science, researchers found that the Black Death originated in Asia but mutated in Europe and then actually spread back out to the east. Lawler reports that a virulent strain of the Black Death bacterium lurked for centuries in Europe while also working its way back to Asia, where it originated from. DNA sequencing of plague victims from London, Barcelona, and even Russia revealed that they all carry the same strain of Yersinia pestis. This strain later became the ancestor of other major global outbreaks of pandemics and viruses, including those in China in the 19th century and even modern-day Madagascar, which to me is absolutely astonishing how that strain from the 14th century is still present in today's world. Furthermore, the World History Encyclopedia website supports these findings by explaining how trade routes like the Silk Road and merchant ships accelerated the spread of disease from Asia to Europe. The website notes that the movement of armies and goods between countries enabled the disease to spread across local regions and then eventually come to Europe, as that is how it works. Usually with trade, a lot of things from Asia would come into Europe, and that includes a lot of touching of products and materials, and like that, this spread was made. Infected rodents and fleas followed these networks, spreading the plague across cities, going into Eurasia and eventually into Europe. These patterns highlight how interconnected medieval societies unknowingly facilitated one of the deadliest pandemics in the history. A bit similar to what we went through, which was coronavirus and the spread of that, how it came from Asia and it came into Europe. Secondly, the Black Death led to profound social and political consequences, including widespread persecution. In the article by Remy Jedwab, Noel Johnson, and Mark Kamaya in the Journal of Economic Growth, researchers argue that the trauma of the plague led to a lot of scapegoating and a lot of violence. The study found that the Black Death triggered large-scale persecutions of Jewish communities across Europe. These persecutions were especially intense and hit in areas of Europe to do with the plague where people sought someone to blame. This shows how pandemics not only destroy the lives through disease, but they also create such social unrest and prejudice, racism. As we saw with coronavirus, a lot of racism was going unfairly towards people of Asian descent. Additionally, the CDC website outlines how the Black Death social effects included changes in labor markets and in the decline of feudalism. With the death of a large portion of workforce, surviving peasants gained more bargaining power, demanding higher wages since they already didn't have any money. And now, because this is coming, this plague, this pandemic, the economy went way worse. Like I said many times before, just like coronavirus, how everyone was going through a financial struggle, losing their jobs. This economic shift weakened the traditional feudal hierarchy and set the stage for societal transformation across Europe and technically across the world as well. The CDC concludes that the long-term social upheaval contributed greater mobility and economic opportunity for the lower classes. Overall, I've informed you about the origins and the consequences of the Black Death. I explained how modern DNA research reveals that the plague persisted in Europe for countries and even spread all the way back to Asia, coming from Asia originally. And I also discussed how the societal impact of the plague led to prejudice and mass persecutions at the time, and how it disrupted the labor systems as well as the economy. Thank you for listening.